Okay, yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Most Men. We are live on YouTube. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. We need some comments. We're getting some subs. The subs are coming up. Those shorts are working. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. TheMostMen.com is the website. Info at TheMostMen.com is the email. And so there we go. Welcome to Most Men. Man Kit's coming soon. Get your man card. Get your balls back. Learn how to maintain, retain. We're building better men here. This whole podcast is about building better men. We want to help all these little young weenie-fied boys become men again. But then when you join the men's club, after you buy your man kit, you're in the club. So this is the men's club. We come here to have fun on the podcast, and we let her rip. So how you doing, boy?
I'm doing well.
All right. Well, I'm going to just check real quick. These two are going to be good. So I'm going to get this out of the way right now. It'll be on the next podcast, but there's big news. It's exciting news for the future, okay? And I was doing some stuff for some other reasons, like right now the studio's at my house, but I'm about to sell my house. We're going to build a big production warehouse and studio and all that. But I was doing some reconnaissance on how I'm going to live from here on out, where I'm going to live, blah, 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 blah. And this idea just, and I was like, holy shit,
right.
This is fucking good. So when I say this, when this comes out, you're not going to know. But when we do these things, we do two at a time. Like we'll do one. So don't make fun of me if I have my same shirt on the next video, because we'll do another one right after this. We can stack it up to where we got plenty of content for the week. Okay, so I'll announce that on the next show. Okay, it's gonna blow your dick off.
We got the behave yourself one up front, and then get the cooler out.
Get the cooler and get some liquid courage in us and let it hang out. So it's gonna be fun. I can't wait, dude.
I know you're just all grinning.
Dude, I can't. I've been.
He hasn't told me what this is. He said I got to wait just like everybody else. So I'll get it.
Well, no, it
raw,
needs
natural here.
It needs some. We need a little alcohol for it to be proper.
All right.
Okay. So let's get into this one. Not get it out of the way, but we got some good shit coming on this one too. So first topic. Man, I just feel like I'm not blowing any new news that nobody doesn't know about. But, man, just the shit going on in the world right now, man, it's tense. And if America doesn't – these politicians fuck it up again, I mean, we're fucked.
It's almost like there's a method to the madness. I mean, nobody can just do the crazy shit they do randomly or generically. I mean, there's got to be a reason it's as stupid as it is. There just has to be.
Well, this is one reason why Andrew Tate's locked up. It's because that's what he was getting. Well, he not only did he just expose it, he didn't expose names, but they warned him before they canceled him. They were like, "Look, you get 3 fucking strikes at this fucking deal, and we're asking you to shut up." You're exposing the secrets of the world. There's presidents and there's country leaders, and then there's the real people that run the world. It's like Putin said. He said, I've been through 4 presidents, and all of them have got a great idea until the guys in the black suits come in and tell them how it really fucking works. So I don't want to get into all that, but so they canceled him. Then they offered him hush money from what he said and his rumors. I mean, a couple $1 billion. It wasn't like it was a couple $100 million. They were like, shut the fuck up.
But he already had money, so money doesn't blow people's skirts up that have money.
No,
when you don't have money, then money blows your skirt up.
That's why he's been talking about this for 8 to 9 months. He's like, look, I've already, because that's what everybody asked him. what's the worst thing about being canceled? Well, it blew up in their face. Just like it for Joe Rogan. Whenever Joe went against ivermectin and all that shit, and they tried to, his audience not doubled, but he said he grew like 30%. I mean, he gained like 4 or 5 million more followers, like immediately. Same with Tate. He doubled in size. So his cancellation didn't work. And he said, so what they do, he said, because that's why he's moving to Dubai. He said, that, he goes, I've already burned one of my strikes. They either cancel you, lock you up on false charges, or they fucking kill you. If you're powerful, I ain't that guy. Okay. We have 45 subscribers right now. We ain't fucking doing nothing, man.
We're not letting the cat out of the bag over here.
We are not fucking breaking the system. I guarantee you, we're breaking the code. We are learning the code. Okay, so, but I just feel like, man, if you're right. There's something else behind, or we wouldn't be this fucking stupid in this country. How ignorant is both sides? I don't give a damn what side you're on. They're so fucking stupid up there.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness, because you can't just stumble into being just so wrong all the time. Then speak truth to power. You always say that one. That makes me crazy. We're all standing here going, you people make the rules, and we got to live with your rules, and these rules suck.
They do, and they're stupid. And the problem is that none of them dickheads up there have done anything in their life worth, except for waste our money. I mean...
Oh, they're good at that.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but sometimes I really do think... I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to go tinfoil hat like Alex Jones. I actually like Alex Jones, because most of the shit that he's been saying for 10 years is all came true. They just don't like him talking about it. Same thing with Tate. But Alex Jones just... he can't just drive a truck down the road. He's got to drive a tank. You know what I mean? He's funny as shit, though. I mean, you need to watch the Joe Rogan show with him on there. They were on there for 4.5 hours, and he got drunk. They got him drunk and high. He's a fucking animal, dude. And why he's so out there... because they say there's another example of it. Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love me some Sam.
Yeah. World hunger.
Oh, yeah.
No, so when he was younger, this happened to Sam Kinison. But Rogan was telling this story, and that's why I got on the Kinison train. I started watching a bunch of old Kinison shit because Joe was talking about this. Is that Sam Kinison got hit by a car when he was a teenager. And he had when his head hit the street or the concrete or whatever, he had a major head, and it turned him, because his brother was like, he was never like that. He was like, son, are you thinking about getting married? The guy in the front row, have you ever seen it? Are you thinking about getting married? Settling down, buying a house, and doing this and that, and all the pretty little wife in the family and all this. He said, after you get married, I want you to remember this face right here. It was funny as shit. But anyway, his brother said that he was never that lunacy. He wasn't that out there. Funny as shit. But same thing happened to Alex Jones. He got into a fight with this bodybuilder because Alex Jones is a brute. I mean, he's big, but they pile drived him on his head on the concrete. And that's what turns those people into those. I've had some head injuries. I started thinking about it. I was like, fuck, you've been hit. When I was a kid, I went on a 3-wheeler. I went fucking into a tree and it crushed the whole side of my face in. This was a scab for 6 months.
Like a tricycle or a powered 3-wheeler?
Oh, a power 3-wheeler.
All right.
Yeah. And, there's many more.
I've
I've been hitting the head with a crowbar here. Is it this side or this side? There's a scar. You see the scar? It's this side, isn't it? Anyway, it's this side. I got hit here.
No, it's over there. Unless it's a different one. Who knows? You could have multiple whacks.
No, it was this one. It is this one. It's right because I got hit right here too. My other scar's right here. So crowbar here.
You got a collection of them.
And then 40-ounce beer bottle to the back of the head. And then I was driving a Bobcat. I think I had some more between there. I've had some pretty fucked up stuff happen to me. But anyway, I don't know if I ever told you this one. I've got a dent in the top of my head. Have you ever felt it?
No.
Okay. Feel this.
Oh,
Come over here.
All right, I'm doing it. Oh, shit. That's it coming in.
Okay. No, you're.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good God. He ain't kidding. He's got a dent in his head.
Yeah. So it was the house that we lived in before we moved here, and there was a big pile of dirt on the side of the house, but I had a Jack Russell Terrier, so it just didn't have a fence. It had a fence everywhere else except for right where the house and the driveway connected. But that pile of dirt, the builder, it was leftover bricks and rocks and all this shit. He just piled it up over there to where you didn't have to haul it off. But it was in the way of my fence, okay, or where the fence was going. It was going into my backyard. So I ordered a Bobcat, one of them Bobcats on tracks. They're like a little mini bulldozer, if anybody out there didn't know what a skid steer is. So I'm hauling ass. I came home during my lunch break, and I'm hauling ass trying to get this dirt out. And it's a day like today where it was misting and, just misting, and it had been raining 3 or 4, 5 good times to where the ground's good and, moist, and that's why I could spread it out real quick. Anyway, so I just run home real quick because they're coming the next day to set the posts. So I'm going back to the back part of my property or my yard, and a rock fell out of the bucket. And I rented this one from Home Depot. Home Depot, you are lucky as shit that I'm not a sue happy bastard. Okay, because it didn't have a seatbelt in it, nor did it have it. It didn't have a seatbelt, and nor did it have it did have the safety bar, but that doesn't stop you. Okay, so the rock fell out, hauling ass. Boom! That rock gets stuck underneath the tire, and it's a rock, big rock. And it endos me in the bucket. I stuck the bucket in the ground. Okay?
All right.
Probably about that much. And fucking went head first. My head went head first into that big
the front of the roll cage.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Fucking, it didn't knock me out. But I saw white. And I remember I was like, oh my God. And I remember taking those 4 fingers, and I could stick all 4 of my fingers in there and feel the white meat in my skull. Went all the way down to the skull.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then, good Irishman. I've always got a little leftover alcohol in my system. Me and my dad used to drink beer every day after work. But, dude, so the blood trail was about that wide going to my house. And my ex-wife, she opened the door and almost passed out.
You could have painted a fire lane on the way, the 6-inch wide fire lane.
It was. And then there was a pool of blood like that on my... Okay, so most women, good God, dude. So my mom comes over to pick me up. My mom's a nurse. Comes over to pick me up to take me to the emergency room. So we go in. And I'm just sitting there I'm bleeding everywhere. My head, I can, what
head wounds, they bleed like crazy.
Oh,
man.
yeah. And
they don't stop.
And when you hit something that hard, it's the throb. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there that I could feel my heartbeats just going boom, 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 boom. And, there's this girl in front of us, this little 16-year-old girl, 17-year-old girl and her mom, and Hispanic. couldn't speak any English. And, well, broken English, because the mom could, or the daughter could. But basically what she was sitting there saying was, the nurse was translating. They had another nurse that was translating in Spanish to the head nurse. Well, we don't know. Here, this is the emergency room. I'm fucking dying. I'm bleeding out over here, and this fucking 16-year-old girl's in there for a pregnancy test.
In an emergency room.
In an emergency room. And her mom's sitting there going, well, we don't know if she's pregnant or not, but, she a little late. And I pulled out $50 and I said, fucking Walgreens. Go. You can buy 3 pregnancy tests for $50. Or go buy one and then take her out to lunch. Get the fuck out of here, man. Welcome to America. Come on in. We're that stupid. We're just fucking idiots here.
Shit like this always happens to you. You got no end of crazy ass stories with getting in fights into frickin' pumping gas. Hey, I'll just spin in here and get some gas. Next thing you know, all hell's breaking loose for whatever reason.
I told you that story, I guess, then. Yeah, not many people know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran over my daughter's dog in that ice storm. We had an ice storm that shut this whole town down for, 7 days, 10 days? So, oh, God. I'm about to save every one of you out there and future people. Listen to this, please. The only vet that was open was there's one by Central Mart. I can't remember the name of it, but it felt like I was walking into a casino. That's how nice it was. And I was like, good God, this is the nicest vet I've ever been to in my life. But so here I am. I hit my daughter's dog. Well, the dog ran underneath my truck. It was completely ice. I was going to get some, groceries or whatever. I can't remember what I was doing. But anyway, I bought her a toy Australian Shepherd and me a toy Australian Shepherd. And man, I do miss this dog, man. This dog was smart. God, just one of the best dogs we ever had. But anyway, Australians, man, they love to chase vehicles, and they're fast. And she took off running and slid underneath my truck. It killed me. It killed me. Because, I don't know if I should say that. Fuck it. We're in Texas. Other fucking bleeding ass people can. In Texas, a bullet is cheaper than the vet. If the dog's gonna die, just fucking shoot it. Okay. It eliminates the pain. Do you agree?
Yeah.
If you know the dog's gonna die, fucking shoot it. But I'm a good dad. I'm a good guy. Take it to the vet.
Do what you can.
We walk in, and I'm like, holy shit. Who's the investor of this place?
It's like a Vegas casino. They didn't build it with their money. They built it with your money.
Oh.
That's kind of one of them deals.
Oh, my God, dude. They had credit card machines on your chair in the room, and they played. Man, did they play it up. You had to pay a certain amount just to get to the room. And there's 3 chairs in each room, and every single one of them has got a credit card machine.
Sure you weren't in some kind of topless bar?
Just felt like it. And then they're playing off my daughter's. They're playing off my daughter's emotions.
Yeah,
there's about a 60-40 chance we can save her until we get into the back room. And they're like, well, But what really what pissed me off is that I said, I want to see you x-ray my dog, because they brought me in and they were like, this is the shot of the pelvis. I said, whose pelvis? Because I was already getting greased. I could feel it. And I was like, hold up. I want to see you take the x-ray. My dog's name is not on that x-ray. There's no date and time on that x-ray. They could be showing me any x-ray, right?
You got to knock the dust off of it and show you.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, because again, I had to pay to get to the room, pay to get the X-rays. It's a step-by-step process. It's what's right there on your chair. This is your new quote. They come in there with quotes, and we're going to work you out a quote and this and that. And it is just like buying a fucking car, okay?
And if you don't make a quick decision, they start playing it like a clock ticking louder and louder.
No, they're
like,
playing
your dog's dying while you're thinking.
Right. We'll make it
It's only getting worse.
Yeah. So, ended up costing me like $5,000 to put it down. So, I'll get to this story. Okay, so while they're going through all this and they're putting her down, I'm like, okay, I told my daughter, I was like, okay, I got to go get gas. I've only got 17 miles left before we run out. And everybody was out of gas. All the gas stations are out of gas. Okay, so there's one little place down on University, just, you probably know which one I'm talking about. It's right next to the Jack in the Box. As soon as you go, if you're going back towards TCU, there's a little bitty shithole gas station on the right that's been there since Fort Worth's existence.
Since they invented gas.
Yeah. So, but you can't walk in because people break into it all the time. So, but he had gas, just enough to get me down the road. Okay. He was like, I got maybe 5 gallons in there. He goes, you're getting the bottom of the bottom. He said, you need to find some more gas when you leave here because you're getting the last of the last, So there was a quick trip on our way home on 183 where I saw the fuel truck pulling in to dump fuel in. So I pull in. And, oh, dear God. So I get in line and I'm trying to remember what started it. Oh, it wasn't even me that started it. It was 2 guys fighting over the gas pump. And they got on top of my truck, and what else? Do you remember what I did? It was so crazy. What did I, do you remember what I told you?
I knew it was the other guys started the fight. And then you told them to stay off your truck.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Then they turned on you, or one guy turned on you.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, because that's where I was sitting there going, hang on. Because what happened was here's what yes, this is what happened. I couldn't remember how they started getting after it, but here's what happened is that dude's credit card, the first guy, his credit card wouldn't work, which means he didn't have any money in his account. And he was sitting there going, and everybody else is pumping. It's like, no, there's something wrong with your card, man. And everybody's been sitting there for God knows how long,
It's cold as shit out.
Nobody's
storms.
Yeah. So the guy turned around, he's like, fuck you. And the dude that he said fuck you to was a rough guy, man. He was like, I'm not calling him a gangster, but you could definitely tell that he didn't get told.
Say, okay.
Yeah, no, he didn't get told no, and you damn sure weren't going to tell him to fuck off. And they get out and start fighting, and they end up on top of my truck. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, there's the whole fucking parking lot out here. What do y'all got to do to fight on top of my truck? And they're like, they're basically like, they thought I was getting in on it. I was like, no, I got a gun, I'll just fucking shoot you. Insanity. People are fucked.
But this shit always seems to find you.
Oh, yeah.
Like the weirdness in the atmosphere and the universe.
Yeah.
It's like if something stupid's going to happen, it goes, well, hey, wait, Mark's coming down the road.
Yeah.
Just give it 5 minutes. He'll be here. And
Yeah.
then you wind up right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, do I know.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's the one thing, and we'll move on to something else. But that's an example of what I'm talking about is how tense the world is right now, man. That's why it was not ever since then, even before then. But that reminded me of why I started doing what I was doing. I was like, hold up, man. There are too many people out here just waiting to go to jail. You know what I mean? Like you don't know when you're running across that guy out there that's just, he's fucking sick of it. He's looking for an excuse to go to jail, and you jump in his chili at the wrong time in the wrong place.
Yeah.
He just pull a fucking gun out and shoot you over fucking gas or telling you to. So yeah, that's what I do not anymore. Even if people are remotely, I just yes sir, no sir.
Yeah, you
Have
don't
a great
know.
day.
Yeah, you don't know when they're going to take it to number 10 on the crazy scale.
Yeah.
You go, hey, your credit card don't work. Next thing you know, yeah, you just
box yourself a baseball bat up against the head.
Yeah, you just in his mind, you just called him a dumbass and just got in the middle of his chili. And you didn't do anything other than point out the obvious. Hey, dude, you can push them buttons for a long time. You ain't getting no gas. Figure out a plan B, man. Get 100 out of your sock or do something, but quit with the card.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. Well, that, but yeah, I just feel like something, and hopefully our government. I hope they don't fuck this thing up, man, because it's getting really.
Well, what scares me is people who are when the shit does hit the fan, then they're going to rely on the government to save them, and by the time you're asking for the government to save you, it's too late because there's too many people to be saved. There's too much. There's you better have some water in your closet, maybe some cans of beans or soup or whatever your favorite munchies are. Buy a case of Chef Boyardee, raviolis, and every Christmas or whatever, give it to the food drive and buy you another case.
Well, no, I'm gonna buy me one of those big, dried food.
I got some of that.
Yeah.
I just mean in general to the average person out there that's not gonna, the conspiracy theorists like, oh, I ain't gonna buy into all of that. You know what? When you're hungry, you'll be buying into it real frickin' quick.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a case of beans than a bar of gold because the gold ain't going to do you no good.
Right.
When everybody's hungry, who gives a shit how big your pile of gold is?
Well, but that's the same thing that happened in that ice storm, man. You couldn't get toilet paper. You couldn't get water. You couldn't get nothing. The grocery stores were empty. And that's why these guys were fighting, because people were that on edge.
Yeah, wait till people start hijacking the truck with, well, there'll be a truck tomorrow and bring toilet paper and food. Hell, they'll hijack the truck up the interstate before it ever gets here. When chaos happens.
Yeah,
they call it chaos for a reason. The shit hit the fan.
Yeah, but it makes it. Again, I don't ever want this show to get political. My political beliefs are my own. I don't care what you think. I don't care what drum you march to or anybody. I'm just saying.
How does have food be political?
No, I know, but I
want to have your own food.
Exactly. I mean, but it really, like Trump or not like Trump, I don't give a damn. I think he did a damn good job. Doesn't mean I'm just saying, if he exposed anything, take all the politics, him, his ego, whatever it is about him, what he did for the common man is exposed that our government is not working for us. You know what I mean? Like, he exposed how deep the swamp is and how intertwined those fuckers are up there. You know what I mean? Like, how real, and with all this YouTube and podcasting and all that, the information the information thread is getting. There's so much more information because people are starting to talk now. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, and people are opening up their eyes. The media is dead. The media is dead. The media is dead. That is just a fucking fountain for the government is all it is. That's it. Can't believe a damn thing. If they're saying something, it's the fucking line, or they're trying to spin something. But he exposed, not saying what's really going on, but conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones, he proved Alex Jones to be right on a shit pile of stuff.
Yeah, that's the old, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, which, that's supposed to make you like, oh, you got me with that one. It's like, man, I'll worry about whether it's a conspiracy theory or not because I'm making decisions to run my life. And if I'm wrong, I'll worry about being wrong later. But if I'm going to get a bunch of food. Why? Well, Earth could get hit with a meteorite. There could be a flood. There could be locusts. There could be any reason why the food chain gets disrupted. And then I'm supposed to be hungry because the guy called me a conspiracy theorist 6 months ago, so I didn't buy any extra food. How ridiculous is that? You know,
Well,
if I'm the guy sitting on extra food and then I don't need the extra food in the future, I guess I'm a dumbass.
yeah.
I'd rather be the dumbass with the food than the dumbass without the food.
Yeah, because you're going to get out there and sword fight with all the other fucking idiots. All the other most men. There's a most man moment.
Sword fight.
Yeah. All the bullets are going to be gone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
take care of yourself and take care of your family.
or just open up your eyes to that there could be they're showing my house, so they're probably going to pop in here in a minute. We'll give a shout out to Reese. But yeah, just y'all don't have to be quiet. My realtor's here. My realtor's here showing my house. So
Talking about live action right there.
yeah. So at any rate, that brings me into the next subject. Are men ready for it? Our age group, I mean, I think we're fine. We're well seasoned, but I'm talking about this younger generation and all that. They don't. What do they say? Good times create weak men, and hard times create strong men. Isn't it something like that?
I can see that, some version of that.
Good times create weak men, and hard times create strong men. Like the whole World War II.
Yeah, I'll buy all that.
Yeah. So if shit hits the fan, are they ready for it, and are they going to be able to handle it?
Well, you got the needs. The food. Just the basics: food, shelter, and all that. But then you got the mental aspect of the whole thing. But I mean, you got to get past the food, shelter, and the basics before you work.
That's what I've got right here.
Yeah,
mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Are they ready for it?
Well, I mean, you better be ready physically
to
take the first wave of it. I mean, if you starve to death, then you ain't got to worry too much about the emotional and the spiritual, and because you aren't around long enough to worry about it. You got to endure the wave.
Yeah. I mean,
it depends how bad the shit hits the fan. I mean, is it World War III? Is it a nuclear thing? Is it just locusts and, you got a bunch of canned food,
Can you survive in the woods for a month?
I mean, yeah, is all the water poisoned with fallout? I mean, there's a lot of different angles it can get you.
Yeah, which man, I'm making plans.
And then my youngest son, if there's World War III and nuclear fallout, he's going to want to live in the house just like nothing happened, I mean, I'm ready to go caveman if I had to.
No, me too. But what I'm saying is, do they know how to fight? Do they know how to protect themselves? Just the basic. Another man coming up to you, he may have a gun, he may not, but
he wants your food.
Yeah. Can you protect yourself? Are you mentally capable of knowing something bad's about to happen?
This dude means business.
Yeah.
He ain't there to talk.
No, he's there to take what you have. And are you mentally there enough to know that, hold up a second here, we got a bad situation about to brew? Know that they're everywhere. They were on top of my truck fighting over nothing. There was gas.
And calling the cops, I mean, that's not an option.
Oh, no.
You got 800 people calling the cops.
I guarantee you.
The cops are busy taking care of their family.
I guarantee you, if the dude that I'm talking about that wasn't going to take no shit, that the dude told to fuck off, I guarantee you, if he didn't whip his ass so quick, he could have pulled out something and ended his life right there. It was that serious. I was like, shit. God.
Oh, because you ran over your dog. Started it.
Yeah.
Well, no, the dog ran under your truck.
Let's
get it right.
But spiritually, it feels like this country spiritually broke. You know what I mean? It's just emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. They're trying to break every part of what.
I'm in a good place spiritually, actually, but I think the older you get, the easier it is.
I am too, but I've got a good one that we're going to get into on the next one.
All right.
That we'll get into that.
So let's save the spiritual thing till.
Yeah, because
All right.
I'll get into that. That's on the next one. But yeah, are you ready for if it just we're not tinfoil hat guys over here, but we're realists, and I feel like something big is going to happen in our lifetime. I really do, or in my lifetime. You're 60. How old are you?
Yeah, 60. I'll be 61 pretty quick.
Right, but I'm just saying in my lifetime and in my kids' lifetime, I feel like something big is going to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't want to spew out conspiracies, but I'm just saying I feel like something big. It's tense.
Shit, there's like 10 potential big things that could happen.
Well, it's just like, okay, when I went to Kuwait, okay, so I went to Kuwait for a remediation job. There was just from the war. There's oil lakes over there from where bombs went off, and they wanted to clean it. It's one of the largest oil spills in the world. But anyway, going through Qatar, and I'm just saying when we flew over, and then when we're being you're being welcomed into their country, so it's telling all about the heritage and all. Dude, they've got all the money over there. Our infrastructure is fucked compared to theirs. You go to Dubai, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, dude, that's the new world over there. You come back to DFW, and you're like, we're third class. We're a third world country compared to what's going on over there. It's insane. It's pathetic. America. It's pathetic. How
Well, we can't pump oil, but they can. We got to buy oil, so we get it from them. And then we wonder why they got all the money. I don't know how that math works.
Google map Saudi Arabia, okay, and zoom in on some of their big, areas. They've turned their deserts into farms. They make it rain over there. They can shoot shit up in the sky and make it rain. They can cause their own thunderstorms now. How crazy is that?
I don't know about that, but I believe you, I guess.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia is doing it. They grow their own corn. They grow their own. They have a agricultural. They're building their industry, agricultural industry. They're building their own. They're not going to worry about it because that's why things are. It's not that it's expensive over there, but they buy the best of the best, and they import. Like, do you know before they got civilized, like during the 2000s when I was over there, I went over there 99 through 02. Do you know that they imported all their sand and gravel in? They've got sand and gravel.
They imported sand.
Yeah, for the concrete for concrete.
Well, was their sand too shitty or something?
It's too fine. It needs to be more coarse. But after they've got mountains and shit over there too, and once they figured out that they had their own resources, because once you get out and about, there's mountains and rivers and all that kind of shit. They've got it. They just didn't know how to do it. But at first they were importing everything. They import everything in, but they figured it. They've figured it out. It's because they got the money, man. I'm not kidding you, man. Just Google Doha, Qatar. Look at their airport compared to any of ours. I walked into that airport and I was like, good God. This is what quality looks like.
Yeah, they probably don't have a
government fucking everything
yeah,
up.
they don't have a welfare system where you don't work. Oh, okay, that's fine.
No, they don't.
Over there, you probably don't work. You starve. I bet you.
I guarantee you do. No, you do. You do. Yeah, there is no. They don't feel sorry for people over there.
I just read something and
complain too much to fucking blow your head off or cut your head off.
I think it was San Fran or somewhere. It was like they spent between, depending on the study. No, it was Denver, between 40,000 and 110,000 per homeless person per year on their homeless program. So split the difference. Say it's $70,000. So the government spends 70 grand for a homeless person that still doesn't have a house. And you know who makes all the money? Probably the people administering the program.
Yeah.
They got health insurance, you know. I got to buy my own my shitty health insurance. Costs $1,200 a month, and it's crap with some deductible that's through the moon. Because I'm paying for everybody else who doesn't have anything.
Rogan was talking about this for California. He moved to Austin. He lives in Austin now.
Yeah.
I think he had Theo Vaughn on there. I didn't really get a chance to, so I don't want to misquote. But what I'm getting at is that he left because of the politics. He's like he said those smug assholes, are taking all my state income tax and all that, and then they're just giving it to the homeless people and doing all this stuff, and they're smug about it. Like you deal with it. If you don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah, and you're an asshole if you don't agree with it.
Exactly. So they were talking like, would you ever go back? And Joe was like, no. He said, I'll go back for one show a year for, his comedy tour or wherever whatever theater or whatever he fills the arena. He said, I'll go one time a year and that's it. He said, I'm done with that place. I will never go back there. Except if my comedy tour, I'll make one stop per year for my fans in California. Never going back.
Didn't he just open some comedy club in Austin with no holds barred or something? I mean, it's you can say anything you want.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they were talking to some people that were like in from California, like, well, I don't know if this is a good idea. People just being able to say what they want with no ramifications. It's like, that's the reason you put the thing in there, so comedians can say anything they want.
It's a fucking joke. Get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but his whole point was that they have realized how bad. There's over 150,000 homeless people in L.A., if not more.
No,
I don't know the exact number, but it's way up there. But they're trying to figure out what to do with them.
Put them to work. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm just
they
saying.
don't want to work there.
Well, I understand. I wouldn't want to work either if I kept getting free handouts.
Hey, over off 820 in Bryan Irving, that Specs that I go to for my I don't want to promote their product, but
your liquid nourishment.
Yeah. And they got cigars and all that stuff too, but it's right off the highway, and it's right off there, 820 in Bryan Irving. Well, there's a Sam's across the street, okay? But there's a parking lot. There's a little strip center up front. So there's a parking lot back there that you really can't see from the road. I'll swear I will kiss your ass if these panhandlers, I've seen them park back there so many times, and then they'll walk to, because it's a popular corner, but they've got a car and everything. I had a friend of mine's dad that panhandled when we were younger. We didn't know what he did. And then one time I saw him on the side of the road, and I was like, hey! Yeah. But when you say, because this happened, was it yesterday or it was the day before, I think. But there was this panhandler, and a lady put a bottle of water out to him. He wasn't thirsty. But he put on the whole act, man. Thank you. Then he took the bottle cap off and just like, chugging it like he was dying of thirst, and everybody was like, you could see people in the next lane over going, what the,
acting like he's just in the
dying
middle of the desert
thirst.
in some Western.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy, man. And I rolled down my window, and I do it all the time when they're asking for money. I said, "Hey, man, I'll gladly. You want to hop in the back of the truck? I got, some weed eating that needs to be done. I've got all sorts of stuff that could be picked up around my place." Oh no. They don't want work.
Get him in the back of the truck and start doing donuts, slinging them all, all around.
Oh, I've got it. Speaking of this, funny. I went and picked up some hobos to clean up my shop and all the stuff we had to clean up out here when I had that I got a dumpster out here to get rid of all my shit. At any rate, so there's just gas station, or it's a gas station / liquor store downtown. Kind of like off Rosedale and Hemp Hill, all in that area down there. And all those Hispanics and hobos and all that, there's some cheap housing back there that they'll pay for a bed. They'll pay like, $100 a month for a bed. But they all meet at this gas station to get picked up for work. So I went down there and got two. I don't let the people from Honduras come to work for you. This is the third time this happened to me. And this time I just said, fuck it. I got him in there. Here he is. He wanted $150. Both of them wanted $150. And I asked him. I said, what are we doing? I told him that we're cleaning all this, stuff out of my house and throwing it away, and stuff that I don't want. We're just throwing. It's just anybody should be able to do this, okay? And I got the two, not fittest guys that weren't had bellies hanging over their belt line. So they hop in, and I'm kind of. You savvy, Travaco? You savvy? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We get out here. I hand him a drill a drill with a 5/16 socket to take the doors off my refrigerator. And he put the thing in there, and he handed it to me I was like, you don't know how to use that? You don't know how to tighten up a chuck on a drill? For God's sakes. And then we came out here because I was like, get in the truck. I'm taking you back. I'm going to get me I was telling you this story. Yeah, so I get him in my truck, and he was like, no, I'll work. And I said, okay, well, then let's go out to the shop. I said, you fuck up one more time, and that's it. Dude, he dropped 1.5 gallons of muriatic acid. You'll see the stain out there on the ground. Dropped it. Spilled it everywhere, then drug it through it into the dumpster, and then it leaked all over my driveway. My dog's out there lapping it up. And so I made him get in the back of the truck, and I took him right up here to this curve and told him to get out. And then I started driving back home, and I was like, man, that ain't right. So I turned around because I just pointed to the high. I said, that way. You just need to walk that way. But it's like a 5-mile hike. So
yeah, crossing railroad tracks and everything down there.
Yeah, man. And I was just like, dude. So I turned around because I'm a nice guy. Okay. Told him to hop in the back of the truck. And I took him up to that gas station and dropped him off. And they were all, thank you. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I felt bad, but it is what it is. So they're in them homeless people. Same thing. Our men, are you ready for it, man? They'll cut you for some food. You know what I mean? They'll do some extreme stuff to get what they need to survive, because their situation's not getting any worse.
I gave a guy $20 one time I went to a Dallas Mavericks game, and me and my buddy Jim, on the way back, we were stopping to get a cold 6-pack because I guess we hadn't had enough to drink by that time. So, they quit selling beer at the end of the third quarter, and hell, the game goes into overtime or something. Oh, Jesus. So we stopped to get a 6-pack, and, I had a bunch of money on me. So I give it to this one homeless guy, and I proceeded to watch a bunch of people just beat the shit out of him and take his freaking money. It traumatized me. Him more than me, I'm sure. But I didn't do that guy a favor. I gave him money. Everybody seen me give him money. They just went over there and beat his ass while we were driving out of the parking lot.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. I mean, what was I going to do? Pull over, go over there, and then get my ass beat and robbed and
Exactly.
the whole. Yeah, I mean, it was just out of control. So that was the end of me trying to be the nice guy. It just,
Yeah.
I didn't do him a favor.
I'll tell one more and then we'll move on because we've probably been, I don't know how long we've been on, but it's probably at least 45 minutes an hour. But anyway, I was going back to my shop one time and I stopped off at this, I don't know if you remember, but there was that little liquor store where our concrete plant was because it was the only place to get beer.
Whiskey Flats.
Yeah, Whiskey Flats. So, and that's why it's called Whiskey Flats because everywhere else used to be dry and that was the only wet spot. And that little liquor store has been there forever. But at any rate, I got to make friends with the guy inside, so we always bought our beer there. And I walk in, and it's Thanksgiving. You know, and this lady's standing outside, and she's pointing over to the gas station across the street. She's like, you know, my husband's over there. We're just passing through. We're trying to get to family's house, and we're out of gas. And I was like, same thing. I had plenty of money in my pocket, so I pulled out a 20 and I gave it to her. I said, you know, happy Thanksgiving, blah blah blah, and so she goes over there, and I'm telling my dad did a good deed today, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I remembered what kind of car she drove. It was an old piece of shit white Volvo. Okay, well, I'm at the stoplight in Benbrook one day, going to the shop, going to my plant, and I'm at the first one at the light. Okay, and then the turn lane's to the left, but not many people turn there because there's really no place to go. All of a sudden, whoo! That white Volvo passes me, blows the red light, like, I ain't fucking waiting for nothing. And I'm like, that's the fucking lady I gave the money to. I was like, what a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? I was like, fucking scammers. You know, I knew it right away. I was like, fuck, man, I got had by that woman. You know? Okay, fast forward. Albertsons used to be up there, and Bank of America was in there, and that's where my bank was. I had an account there, and I was depositing my checks. Walking back outside, and I see the Volvo. As I'm getting in my truck, she's walking up to this girl getting out of her car. And I jumped out of my truck, and I was like, no! Don't give her any money. She's a fucking scammer, you know. And the little girl's like, I don't know what to do, you know, and I'm running over there. I'm like, no, she's a fucking crook, you know. And she just yanked the money out of the girl's hand. She didn't, you know, I mean, she just like, boom. So I'm running in. She's going into Albertsons. So I'm running in there telling them to call the cops and all this shit. Well, while this is happening, she turns around and she goes, fuck you. And I'm like, no, fuck you. You know, I'm going to get you arrested, you know. And all of a sudden, she grabs her husband that's in line paying for their groceries. It's Christmas time now, okay? This is when the Cowboys play on, you know, is it Thanksgiving Day or Christmas?
They play Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but no, this is Christmas, but the Cowboys still.
Oh, okay, they were still playing.
Yeah, he had his cowboy jersey on. He's getting ready he had steaks, beer. I mean, a cartload of groceries. And they just ran out with him. But they ain't hurting for money. She's out there peddling people in the parking lot while he's grocery shopping.
That's what the world's all about now. It's how it works.
Oh, God.
Every man for himself. Just remember that.
Speaking after that bitch. Okay. This is the last topic, and we'll wrap this one up. Also, are the women ready for it?
That's a big no.
Yeah. Okay. Because this new generation, there's the woke, weak, weenies. Okay, and then the millennials, but then there's this new generation. Okay, and I would like to, believe that my middle daughter's in that generation. Well, both of them are. Both of my daughters are, and my son. They see all this bullshit going on, and they don't like it. Okay, but there's a big but for the women. Okay, there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I'll give you the names of them. God, if I could think of the one off the top of my head, but they're ever since Andrew Tate blew up. Okay, there's a lot of spinoffs of Andrew Tate that were there before, kind of creating this message. They just didn't Andrew Tate the thing. I mean, Tate's he's a fucking genius, dude. How he did that. He knew exactly what the fuck he was going to do and the reaction he was going to get, and he got it. So what I'm getting at is there's these, and especially me as a divorced man, women out there, okay? I'm not out there looking for some woman that, like, it's going to be a hard fucking sale for the next one. You got to bring something to the table. Like, I ain't here to just take care of you. Okay? But what I'm saying is these younger men, they're all of a sudden saying now, and it's part of the whole most man thing of what the man card, the 12-step program, how to maintain, retain, all that, is that, hey, these women have got to check some boxes too. You know, there's a lot of bad ones out there, but there's a lot of good ones too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I am not hating on women. My ex-wife was until the end. But I didn't have to put up with all the bullshit that most men have to put up with, or the men that allow it to happen to them. You know, and obviously you've talked about your situation. You didn't have to either. And there's a lot of good women out there, but they go quick, guys. They go quick because the smart guys that see it, they nab them up. Okay, but my point is that I wish I could figure. I think it's Fresh and Fit. Is this podcast Fresh and Fit? It's younger. I don't think he's black. I think he's like he's definitely not. I don't know if he's Arab or you know, from that part. He's just darker skinned, like Egyptian, or he's not Indian, but he's darker skinned, but he's not black. He's not black, but he's an extremely smart guy, very very well spoken, and that's what he's you know, he brings he'll bring like 10 girls on his podcast, okay. And they're all like, you know, I'm looking for a high value man, and I'm this, and you know, I'm a boss bitch, and you know, I make my own money, and I don't need a man, and all this bullshit here. And he's like, well, okay, what's your body count? You know, because these younger girls, you know, I mean, there's always the whores out there, but I think my generation was probably one of the last. Maybe the next one below me. You know what I mean? I'm 45, 10 years prior. But in that time frame was when traditional women started dying off. You know what I mean? Like women that they took pride in saying, hey, I've only slept with 2 or 3 guys. You know what I mean? Lost the virginity of the boyfriend in high school, dated a guy in college that just didn't work out, and you know what I mean? Like they prided themselves on being innocent, good women. You know what I mean? So, but this new generation, no, it's all, they think the higher their body count, which the body count is how many dudes they fucked, they think that number's better. And he's like, well, okay, if you're a boss bitch and all this, but that's Tate's message. That's all these guys' messages is okay. All of y'all don't need men right now until it's time when shit hits the fan and you need, like, you know, when the fight breaks out over the food rationing. You think women are going to jump in and go, hey, fuck you. No, they're going to be running to a guy like you and me going, help.
Yeah, you got any extra something?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. These younger men are starting to say, "Hey, no, baby. If you want to act like a whore, you get treated like a whore. Okay, like you are just a sexual object to me. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But don't expect me to treat you anything different than that. You're you're a sex partner, and then we're done."
I can't tell you how many times in my life you run across some gal at a party or something somewhere, and oh yeah, I can be a bitch. They literally take pride in the fact that, oh, I can be a bitch when I want, and then somebody calls them a bitch, and then they get all pissed. I literally have seen this happen a dozen times in my life.
Yeah.
Bragging on, oh, I can be a bitch. Oh, you wouldn't believe what a bitch I can be, and somebody go, you are a fucking bitch. And they're like, what?
You can't talk to me like
Yeah,
that.
did I just witness? How stupid is this exchange that I just witnessed? You bragged on being a bitch. The guy agreed you're a bitch, and then you get mad.
Yeah.
Stay away from this person. She's not just a bitch. She's a psycho.
Yeah. Those are the ones that'll fucking hit you, scratch you. Yeah. Start fights with you. Throw your ass in jail for protecting yourself.
And then cry that they're a victim.
Exactly. Oh, my ex-wife, when our marriage started going south, that first time I left her, she started all that bullshit, starting fights with me and trying to get me to hit her, and I was like, ain't working here. So, but yeah, women, if shit hits the fan, are you ready?
You're gonna have to lay in the bed you make, so you may want to make a decent bed.
Yeah.
That's my
make sure
my
you got
wisdom.
make sure you got enough tofu and kale. My steak stays with me, baby. Have all your smoothie material. I don't. Again, there's good and bad in every generation, but it's just we're going through a major shitty shift right now, man. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, the pendulum always swings, The pendulum has always swung. And it's swung so far to the wacko side of things, I think it's just going to come unhinged off of the frickin' clock and go winging through the wall,
Yeah. Hey, and we're gonna start getting close to wrapping it up and that's what I'm doing after I sell this house. I'm going to Ireland for a month. I may go to Qatar, or, I may stop in some other. I haven't figured that part out, but I'm at least going to Ireland to learn my family history. Okay. But, no, dude, I'm either buying me some property out in the middle of nowhere, or I'm going to buy me a house in another country. If shit gets bad here, I can just the fuck out of here. Because Qatar, you can buy a badass apartment on the beach, and they've got beautiful beaches over there. I mean, I'm talking, they've got some of the most beautiful, salt water. I mean, just their beaches, the whole environment. It's beautiful. Beautiful. You can get one for cheap. $100,000.
Yeah, you got to use it, though.
Fully furnished. No, you can rent them out. If you don't use it, the people rent them all the time. You either buy them, lease to own them, or lease them, or rent them. Yeah, you work out a deal with it's the same thing in Dubai. They've got a property management company that manages it. Because Dubai right now, there are more. Dubai is the spot right now for people, all expats, that they're all buying places in Dubai if they have money. Big people around the world that have got money, they're all buying a place in Dubai. There's more, what's the word I'm looking for? More nationalities not in Dubai, but registered homeowners than anywhere else in the world. Because it functions like the way it should function. There's one ruler, and if he sees a divot hole in the ground, it gets fixed the next day. There's no crime. You know, all those people with money can walk around with $1 million watch on their hand and not worry about getting knifed to death like they do in, you know,
about anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the United States.
Well, I was going to say London. I was going to say England, but London, you know, London's not a safe place to.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy shit about the subway there.
Well, it's because
after dark, stay the hell out of there.
It's because of all that socialism shit that's going on over there. People are hungry.
Well, a lot of them are just hooligans. There's a lot of rapes and shit. It isn't just robbing somebody to eat. It's they know they can do it and get away with it.
But they got the social dole.
They go nuts.
They got the dole. They can get on the dole. And if you're on the dole, what else are you gonna do? They can be on the dole and just go rob people for their shit.
Their beer money.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right, there's your public service announcement.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So just most men out there, men in our men's club, let's you know, maybe we can come up with a list of stuff like that to kind of, you know, you don't have to go out and be the next prepper or hoarder, but I mean, God, at least get a checklist of some shit. You know, learn how to start a fire with a striker instead of a lighter, you know?
Or at least buy a couple dozen Bic lighters, you know, and throw them in the drawer. Something.
Yeah, I mean, because
make an effort.
I'll get into it on the next one because this is what got me going down this rabbit hole, is this whole big news coming in the next podcast. And yes, I'll have the same shirt on because we're doing it right after this one, okay?